In this video, we're going to create a menu bar where we add up a logo and we give this logo a proper design or matching together with the entire menu bar. Alright, to do this, we need to have an icon. I already have an icon, and you can get any icon you want or any logo you want. Just get one. And what we're going to do is here we have a blank template here, and we have here basically our HTML, and this is our CSS. It's all completely blank, as you can see. So let's start working on it. So what we're going to do here is first we're going to create a section, and this section will have a tag, and in here we're going to do a navigation. We use the navigation tag to indicate that this is a navigation, or even specifically this entire section covers everything related to the navigation, and we put it in here as well. So what is basically part of the navigation? Well, the logo or the header logo, and of course the menu bar itself. So we're going to make a menu bar in here. Let me say here the following. First of all, I'm going to give a div. In this div we will have the class of logo, because we're going to add up here the logo in. So once we have that, we can put in here a href, and this href would contain the link, and of course we will put in here a image, and then the image source will be whatever link we have. If you have any image, use this image, use the name. I have one already, so I'm going to put it in here, which is called the piggybanker.png. Alright, and later on we're going to make it nicer. So we have this one here. Next, what we will need to do here is we're going to put in the item, or at least the menu bar. And with this, we can do here an unordered list. And with the unordered list, in here, we have the list items, and in the list items we have, of course, the href. So I can copy almost this text here. I'll just say here, and then what we can do is we can just copy this 4 more times. There we are. I will give this unordered list a class name of navigation. Navigation. All right. So once I have this here, we have this text here. I'll just put in here maybe home or welcome, and then what we have here about products, loan, or login, or contact. Maybe contact is fine. Contact. All right. So about us, contact us, and I like to move the products here above. Maybe the product should be account or something, maybe bank account. That's probably more appropriate because this is a banking item. So once we save this, if we save this all and refresh, you can see here now we have this icon here that looks like a piggy bank. We have here our welcome and everything, or our menu, so we can start to work on it. And I realize that if you have a piggy bank here, this should be not bank account but savings account. Savings account, that's a bit more appropriate for in our case. Alright, so we have this now. The next thing what we want to do here is now start to do the design. And with this, we're going to make sure how it will look like is we will have here the top, and then this here will be on the side here. So what we're going to do now is basically this. Number one, what we're going to do here is in the section, we're going to give it a color, and we have a color here already. So we say here background color, basically here. No, just ignore this one. And then we say here variable function. We're going to use the CSS variable function dash color number 1. So we have this. All right. Next, what we want to do is we want to have a certain height here. I think that the most appropriate would be maybe 100 pixels. And of course, we want to have a padding. And this padding should be, let's say, at least 10 pixels left and for top. And then for left and right, I want to have a bit more pixels, so I say 20 pixels. So once I do this and refresh, you can see now we have a better one. Of course, right now we're overlapping here, and the reason why is because we have a fixed height. If we remove this, the height will be more dynamic. Of course, in our case, we don't need that. We don't need that dynamic height, although it could be useful, especially for mobile. We can leave it for this for now. What we want to do then eventually is this should be moved here to the side. So to do this, what we need to do is the following. We're going to use a flex box, and the flex box will make all of these more flexible basically, but we're going to put them all in one line, and everything should be aligned accordingly. So basically, if this is like higher than this, then the text here of the unordered list should be aligned, and then basically the baseline should be a center. But we're not going to use baseline here or line height. So we're going to use some flexbox, and flexbox has all these functions in here. So let's look at that. So the first thing that we're going to do here, first is a flexbox in the navigation. So it's in navigation, and in this navigation, we'll say display is flex. And once we say that, then we say next is justified content, and the justified content is that center? No, it's that one should be space between, not center, sorry, space between. And the reason why is we want to have the logo here, and we want this part at the very end here. And once we did that, then we say yeah, we can just save this first and see what happens. All right. So if I remove this, you will see what happens as well. It just comes here together. So the space between will basically indicate that if there's another div, there will be space between. But if there would be another div here, this would come and go here in the center, and then you have an item here. Let me show you just to make sure. So you see this. Let's say this is a new div. Now you say here hello. Refresh. Bam. There you are. Now what happens is because there's space between, it goes between here and puts everything in a proper location with the exact amount of padding or margin they calculate. So very important, we're going to remove this now. We don't want this. Alright, so I only want this one here. So we have this now. The next item what we want to do is eventually this. So we have everything done in navigation. This one is correct. We could do here some design here. Well, probably we should do some design here. So what I want to do here now is I want to apply here a certain item. Well, we can say here align item first, align items center, so that the line height, this is basically similar to the line height where we put them all in the center. As you could see, you saw that one here. Let me remove this again. Save that. Pay attention to the piggy bank here. The refresh is up. Once we refresh, it goes up. So what happens is basically with line height, you put it in the center. No matter how big it is, it will be in the center of that div, which is exactly what we want because that will make it nice, centralized. Alright, so we save this. There you are. And then what we're going to do is now we're going to change the piggy bank. The piggy bank should have a white color. So what we're going to do here is the div class logo href, or basically here what we can say is the logo, and then the image, what we can say here image, well basically we could just break it down. We'll say div.logo, then href, and then space image. Alright, so the image here, what will happen is we want to change the color. So we say invert oh sorry, that's filter. And then the filter here, we'll say invert. Then we do 1. So what happens is we want to convert the color to exactly opposite. And now our black color becomes nice white, as you can see. So this works. So now we're done here. The next item is eventually pinpointing the navigation part. So we say here, this is the UL navigation. We can use navigation, but I'll just use pinpointing more precise. UL navigation. And then in here, what is the next item in navigation? Well, first of all, we just maintain this navigation. Why? We want to put this now also here aligned. So we use a flex box for that as well. So basically what we have here above, we could do here same. So we say display, say flex, and we say align items, center. And if we save this, let's see what happens. Navigation, did I type it correctly? Class navigation, and of course justified content, that's the one we need as well. Save that, and didn't work yet, so let's double check what we have. Navigation, do I have here navigation? Yes, the UL class UL navigation. No. So let's double check why this is not yet responding. So this type list style, I need to remove those as well. Class UL inherited from the UL. Direction is flex. Well, not yet, so let me double check what's going on here. Did we save this properly? Navigation. Yeah, alright. So what I'm going to do is here, there's a here the list item. Let's continue on first. Dot navigation dot li, and then in here list style none. Alright, sorry, I'm using direction instead of display. That explains a lot. Alright, so this here basically, well, I'll just hide this first. Refresh here. There we are. Let's open up this. So you can see now it starts to put in. Alright, so let's go back here to the very beginning. So we have the flex display. We save this here. Alright, that works. And then what happens is we say justified. Then I will just put the align items away. Still it works, maintains same position. And then the center, that's fine. Doesn't matter so much. And then what we want to do here is basically we want to remove the disk. As you can see, we have this disk here. Bam, there you are. Then what we need to do here is a padding. Padding, let's say 5 pixels by 10 pixels. Save. There we are. So you will not notice the padding, but now if you would give it, for example, a background color, we could assign them. So what we want to do here first is, before you even give a background color, we want to at least give this here a welcome. We give this text here a certain color. What we can do here is maybe background color here. Background, bar, and in here, we're going to get the variable color. That will be color number 3, which is a white color. Remember, here we have this white, we have this set here white, this one is black. So we save this and then we refresh. Alright. Then we can say, probably we need some margins as well. But we can say here at least border radius. And this border radius should have, let's say here, a 5 pixels. 5 pixel border. There's a tiny rounded edge. And then we say here margin. We can give here margin, probably margin right. Let me say here 5 pixels as well. We save this. There you are. So now we have these buttons here. Let's fix this here to make the color a bit more appropriate. To do that, we need to pinpoint now not the list item, but we need to pinpoint the href. So we say here, basically to copy all of this. And then we say here a for the anchor tag. And then in the anchor tag, we'll say here color. Now if we will give the color here is the color, it will be variable and then color 1. So we have 1, alright. And then next what we want to do is, oh sorry, double dash. Make sure you have double dash here, don't forget that. And then what we want to do here, text decoration none. And the reason why we do that is because we don't want to have these underlined as well. So refresh here, there we are. Alright, so we have this almost, and we could probably do here something more. What would be very nice. Or maybe what we could do is we do the background. It should change the background only once we hover over it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do tiny adjustments here. So we say we have this one here. This will be the background. Well, maybe we can adjust this. We're going to make the font color white. The background will be just similar, but there's a border here. So it's a border outline. So we say here, border. And then we say the border is this variable and it's solid 1 pixel, or let's say 2 pixels. If we save this and refresh, alright, we have them. Then what I want to do here is, of course, this will be color 3 to make it white. There you are. So we have this now, and now what we want to do is that when we hover over it, it becomes white while the font becomes pink. So we're going to copy all of this here, and then we say here, colon, hover. And then in here, what we can do now is the color, this can be removed. The color will be then 1. So if you do this, refresh and you hover over it, alright. So you can see it disappears here. The reason why it disappears is because it's the same matching color. Then we say here background, and this will be a variable. Then we say dash dash color. This will be number 3. Once we save that and refresh, now, as you can see here, this needs to be slightly fixed. Alright, that's not a problem. What we can do is we can just pinpoint this item here then, because now we need to make sure that this is a item we need to solve. Alright, so we have this hoover here, but what we could do is the following then. We will have this hoover, that's fine, for the background. We have the color that adjusts, and then what we want to do is we want to have the same hoover for the LI. And the LI will basically do the following. Here, what we could do here is the font weight, just to make bold. Bold. Alright, font weight bold. If you save this, refresh. Alright, you see the width has increased. That means that there's a bold design, but you cannot notice it yet because we have the color, it's similar. So let's fix this one here as well. So what we're going to do here is, once we hover over it, the border will start to adjust as well. We say here, this will be number 1, or well, it could be number 3, doesn't matter so much. And then what we want to do is here is the background. I say here the background, and that background color will be number 3. So it becomes completely white. Let's save this and see how this responds. There you are. So what we need to do here is probably one item. As you can see here, the moment we hover, we want to trigger the hover completely. So we can probably just move this away to here. Save that. And now I want to remove all of this. Now refresh, and now, oh, it doesn't work. Let me double check here. Color 1. Let's see here what's going on. This is the hoover specifically. We have this one here. Can we solve this? Let me say here border and color will be color 1. So okay, so there is here a slight challenge. The reason why is that we have this one here assigned to. So what we have to do here is probably some basics. So I'm going to put this in here. And the reason why this doesn't work is because this is a more specific command. So that would mean that I have to remove, we can copy this all, put it in here, remove this, that's fine. And this needs to be removed as well because this one is becoming our problem maker. Let's save that, refresh. Alright. Now we are getting closer, but we still have a few things to do. So we have here the color. Let me say your text declaration none, which is correct, and text declaration none. Alright, so what we can do is probably here, what we have here, because right now we have this blue color, it says it's default, so we have a slight conflict with this. So what we need to do here, we say here color inherit, meaning that it will get whatever the parent element indicates. So we can remove this one. And if we have this, and as you can see, we can now hover over it. We still need to make the border white, I realize, because the border should be white as well. Background border will be 3 as well. So that's one. Alright, so the next part will be, of course, to have the text here white. So we can say here, color will be white. What was that? Var dash dash color 3. Alright, save that, then refresh, and then if we hover over, there we are. So now we have this nice option here, and now we also have the inherent. So you probably, I hardly use inherent, but this is one of the reasons when you need to have inherent. And inherent means basically you look at the parent element. In this case would be the navigation here, or the UL navigation, or the LI, sorry, the LI, the list item. And then we look at here what is set here, and what's set here will be adjusted or used as in the anchor tag as well. So that's an inherent. So basically you get it from the parents. That's like an inheritance. Alright, so this is right now what we have here, and now this looks quite nice. If we increase the height here, let's try that one. Let's say here in our section, we will increase the height. And we say this will be now 300 pixels. Let's save that. You can see here, oh, let's double check here. How is the flex? The flex is set on this one, the navigation. So I want to adjust the navigation is 300 pixels. And then if we refresh, now you can see this will move to the center again. And the reason why it moves again to the center here is because we have this align items. Oh, no need. We have the align items here and the justified content with the flex box that will start to become more intelligent. So this is quite nice, especially if you have more items. You can add up more and more without having to worry to control the line height. Because normally if you would do the line height, you would have to control. But this is basically the way you can do it. And this is a quite nice design for your menu bar. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and if you have any questions regarding this, make sure you put them in the comment section. I'll get back to you. And if you enjoyed this video, check out the next video here. You will probably enjoy this as well.